What's going on, everybody? TJ here from TJ's Take to break down the single game between the Portland Trailblazers and the pesky Denver Nuggets. I guess it wouldn't have really helped if the Spurs would have made it because they're pesky too, but the Nuggets are a little peskier. Anyways, a couple things to get to. If you haven't heard, TJ's Take now does. We offer day passes, so if you know anybody who plays DFS, they're playing one day, they don't really play too often, or they just want to see what it's all about. We offer day passes for $350. Other than that, I think we can jump right into this one. Let me mention some baseball real quick. We're hitting a lot on baseball. We're getting some stacks right. More right than we are wrong so far, so that's pretty good, but things are starting to heat up. We're getting a bigger sample size. This is where things kind of all come together because you've seen the players, you see what they're doing this season, you've seen some new pitchers, some new prospects, so everything's starting to come together and we can get a better idea of everything. So even if you don't play baseball, it's our most lucrative sport, and it is probably the easiest to take down a tournament in. Anyways, we'll jump right into this. Let's see. We're in Denver tonight. 2 seed, 3 seed. Injury news. Cantor, keep an eye on that. He had that shoulder from the last game. That thing looked a limp, but he still was able to finish the game. Why I was calling the Nuggets so pesky is pretty much they have these guys down here. Will Barton, 8'5". Monte Morris used to be included in this, but right now it's Will Barton, Torrey Craig, Gary Harris, and Paul Millsap. And these guys are all sitting, all of them are at 9'5", except for Will Barton, who's 8'5". The problem is all of these guys, they all split their nights. One guy will go for 30, the other guys will get 15. One guy will go 40, the other guys will get 10. It is just a mess, and it is frustrating, and there's no consistent player in this mid-tier range. So that's just something we're going to have to work through. If you play a lot of lineups, you're just going to have to mix it up. I like Millsap a little more in this one, especially if Cantor misses, but I did like him in past matchups. He just doesn't seem to, not as aggressive as we've seen him in the past, and well, he wasn't in that Spurs matchup. So let's see if this Portland matchup will light a fire under him and he can get going. But anyways, if Cantor misses, that makes me move to Aminu, and that makes me really like Myers Leonard. And then we're obviously going to have more exposure to Zach Collins as well. Let's go ahead and start with some builds here. And we're going to plug Jokic in that top spot. And I'll tell you right now, we're not going to have Jokic up there this whole series. I think this will be a little tougher on him. I think they're going to see a different style of game. The Spurs slowed it down because that's just how they play. Nuggets slowed it down with him, took advantage of Jokic's size, and he was the one making all the plays. The Blazers are going to speed this one up. They're going to be chucking up threes. It's going to be longer rebounds. Jokic will see less rebounds. The help defense for Portland may be a little better. The Spurs do have great help defense, but when it comes to matchups and height and all that good stuff, the Blazers are a way better team, so the assists might not be there as well. So we can kind of flip-flop Jokic, Lillard, and even McCollum in that top spot. So we'll go ahead and plug one of my... This is if Cantor misses, because this is just a very simple, but a build where we can leave salary, and hopefully enough where not many people will have this. So we'll go ahead and plug in Jokic up top, Lillard, and then McCollum. And then we're going to plug in Plumlee. He's still having great games even if he's just playing 11 minutes. They need to give him 20 minutes. I think he can go get you 30. And then we're going to plug in... see? I don't even think they have Myers Leonard on here. I don't know why. On my laptop when I'm on FanDuel, it always leaves a guy out. But we'll plug in Myers Leonard. So in this matchup, we have some 6Ks that are options, but aren't necessarily consistent guys. So we have Mason Plumlee, who's in play. Evan Turner is in play. Malik Beasley, who's 6'5". Mason Plumlee's 6'5". Zach Collins is at 7. Then you have Seth Curry, Rodney Hood, who are 6K guys who can have a random game. So that's the lower price guys that I like are Mason Plumlee, and but only if the Cantor misses, that's when I will go to Myers Leonard, because I think he's going to have to be in there to guard Jokic. I don't think they'll be able to do it with just Aminu and Harkless down there, but that'll be my first build. Gonna hope to end this one a little early so I can get some more baseball lineups in. But anyways, the next lineup we're going to make is Lillard. It shouldn't take a lot of time anyways. This slate is a lot simpler than the Spurs, where both teams just have a montage of players that are so up and down. These Blazers are usually pretty steady, with Mo Harkless either being that guy who goes, and Al-Farouq Aminu of late, the guy who can either, it's just the ceiling and the floor are so high and low, and gives you more of a sketchy spot, but they're still not as sketchy as these Denver Nuggets. So we're going to leave Jokic out of this one. We'll go Lillard, and I like plugging, if Cantor misses, I like plugging Aminu or Harkless in one of these spots. So I'm going to go with Harkless here. We've seen him put up 40 points in these playoffs before, and I think he has a good matchup against this Denver team. In that third spot, let's go ahead and plug Jamal Murray in there. He's going to have to play well. He's going to have to score if they want a shot at beating this Trailblazers team. It can't be all Jokic in this series. So some of these guys are going to have to step up, and that's going to be the trickiest part about these builds. So we'll plug Murray in there, and then let's put Millsap in that first utility spot. That leaves us with $12,000 remaining salary. So I say go ahead and go up there and get Al-Farouq Aminu and leave the $1,500 salary. I think those are 5 guys, and again, you can switch out Millsap for Gary Harris or Will Barton if you think he's going to do better. But these are 5 guys who I think can easily, Jokic can still be up there, but with his price being so high, if Lillard and Harkless can get anywhere close to it, or Lillard can just match Jokic and Harkless not too far behind, these 5 guys could easily be the next 5 behind Jokic or be up there with Jokic. Jokic won't hit his value with the 17.5. Lillard will hit it with his 15, and then we drop to all the way to 13.5 for the rest of the guys who can easily reach their value. So that is a build I like. Those are 5 guys I like that I think you can mix up as well. So let's build one with CJ up top. I mean, this guy has just been lights out. The Nuggets could go into this just Murray looking to hound Lillard, even though it doesn't really seem to help much. Lillard can shoot once the ball is inbounded, and it'll probably go in. Let's plug McCollum in up there, and then we'll plug Lillard in right behind. Actually, let's put Jokic in right behind him. But this build will be like if Lillard has one of those 30-point games, just not on, which has happened before. So I like plugging Jokic in the second spot to be a little different. And then we can go Aminu in this third spot. Again, I can put Cantor in there as well if he plays. But I'll plug Aminu in there, and that leaves us 18.5 remaining. Put Murray. Can't put Murray in that utility spot. That puts us over. So I can go ahead and get Harkless again here. I really like Harkless. If it came to between Harkless and Aminu, Harkless is maybe just a little bit ahead of Aminu, but if Cantor plays, Harkless is a whole step above Aminu, but if he doesn't, Aminu can definitely get a ton of boards. So there's 8.5 remaining there. You could easily go to Will Barton. That's not what we're going to do. Will Barton is just a hit or a miss, a very frustrating player to play. Mason Plumlee, production no matter what, whether it's 8 minutes or 20 minutes. Go ahead and plug him in there, leave the 2,000. These are builds I like. Again, we'll know more after this first game in the series how both teams are going to approach this, adjustments they need to make, and then it'll be a lot easier. But this whole series will be great for single games just because the amount of salary you can leave, and Portland has the upper hand in this one as opposed to kind of a toss-up between the Denver and Spurs series where you didn't know who was going to win. I think Portland will handle this a lot better, so I think our Portland builds, or Portland players with Jokic not having to play as many Denver guys will really benefit us here. Because when you're playing all these Denver guys, you have to hit. There's no other guys you can go around it. It's either Millsap gets 30, Harris gets 15. It's very rare they both go for 30. Torrey Craig, just another one of those guys that they had that they just started to play more, and he's doing the same thing. Malik Beasley can get in, do the same thing. We've seen him put up 30. He had a 30-point game in fantasy point game in the Spurs series. So monitor the Cantor news, and watch how this game goes. And I think you could still make a ton of good builds tonight without even knowing, because that top spot is going to be one of those three guys. Unless Millsap decides he's going to have himself a game, then that could. But that's more of a play for that 30,000 people build. I don't see a lot of people putting Millsap up there tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. So I think it's safe putting those three guys up there. Those are the three builds I gave you. This contest will start in 4.5 hours. If you win that 15K, send me a screenshot. If you don't, I better have won it. Anyways, that's it for tonight. Any questions, leave them on the comments. That chat is coming soon to TJsTAKE. And anything else you need, just leave a comment on there. You can email TJsTAKE. Other than that, good luck and have a good one.